Brandon Marshall, who I know you all are all very familiar with, he's always been somebody that has never been afraid to speak his mind, regardless of the subject, the topic, the issue, whatever it may be. And I respect him for that. He even started up the I Am Athlete podcast just so he could establish his own platform where he could continue to do just that. But Brandon Marshall, while he was speaking about the Baltimore Ravens, he had some very, very strong words about that football team. Let's listen to exactly what he had to say.
The Baltimore Ravens is the best team in the league, and it's not even close.
Wow.
They're going to start playing their best. It's not even close.
I heard you.
Close. Okay. They're going to start playing their best ball when the league really starts, and that's when.
After Thanksgiving.
They're getting better. They're going to get healthier.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson looks good.
Almost cream season.
He's angry. He needs to be paid. He needs to be fed. I just want to let everybody know that the Baltimore Ravens, this may be the year they win the Super Bowl. This may be the best Baltimore Ravens team we've ever seen.
You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, he's a fan and he like the Ravens. And you know just what I mean. You two team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving.
You two team, keep it clean. What's going on? It's Ingraven here with another video. Before we get into what Brandon Marshall said, because he certainly said a lot, I gotta let y'all know I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all supporting. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for leaving a like on the videos, telling your friends and family about the channel, because y'all are all friends and family of us. Team Keep It Clean is one big family, and I really rock with y'all, man. So thank you for everything that y'all do. I love y'all, and hey, we almost at 60K. Almost. Slowly but surely. We'll get there eventually. But somewhere where the Ravens hope to eventually get in this year would be the Super Bowl. And Brandon Marshall said, hey, maybe this the year. Maybe this the year. And the way that he spoke about these Baltimore Ravens, he said this Baltimore Ravens team, he didn't say they were the best in their division in the AFC North. No. He didn't say they were the best in their conference in the AFC. No. He said this Baltimore Ravens team is the best team in the NFL. And then he stood 10 toes down on it and then repeated it and said it's not even close. And those are strong words. Those are very strong words for these 6-3 Baltimore Ravens, especially with Ray Lewis sitting right across the table from him. It's for him to speak about the Ravens so strongly like that. It's like, oh, you really better mean it. But he also said that the Ravens, they haven't even started playing their best football yet. He said that, and he did bring up some good points. He talked about Lamar Jackson. He's angry. He wants to get paid. He also said Lamar Jackson wants to get fed, but I'm sure he's speaking about his money, because Lamar Jackson, he obviously had been eating this offseason because he gained some weight. But anyway, he talked about how the Ravens, they not even playing their best football, and usually teams play their best football after the end of November. And the Ravens are getting there to where they're going to be in the stretch. And they have such a big opportunity because the teams that they play, they're all combined together. They don't have winning records, man. They're not playing these super high-powered teams. Now, it is, of course, any given Sunday. And Ravens better not sleep on not one person at all. Nobody. But he made some valid points. And that got me to thinking. That really got me to thinking. Because y'all know, like, I haven't been somebody that's really thought of the Ravens as a Super Bowl team this year. I've said it plenty of times before. I said it before the season and even during the season. I see this team, the farthest I see them going is probably AFC Championship. Now, of course, I hope to be wrong. I hope to be all the way wrong about that. But I just didn't see Super Bowl from them. But Brandon Marshall, when he made his points, it got me to thinking. Because I thought about it, and I'm like, and we talked about this in a video earlier this week, how with the Ravens, their 3 losses came against teams that have been pretty good. Like, they came against the Bills, it came against the Dolphins, and it came against the Giants. And those have all been some of the more superior teams in the league. But they also have a win against the Jets. The Ravens have a win against the Jets, and they've been pretty good this year too. But as far as the cream of the crop, the Ravens, they haven't really fared well against them. But then I thought, hold up. There was a stat that has been going around and that has gone around, and it still applies to literally every single Ravens game. And that stat is that in every single Ravens game, they've had double-digit leads. In literally every single one. So in all the losses that they got, they had double-digit leads at one point. And in the wins, they also did. And that was the Ravens' biggest issue this season when it comes to the losses and even some of the wins, because some of the wins, they started getting a little closer. It's like, woohoo, you got to chill out, man. And they did chill out eventually. But one of their biggest issues had been closing, had been finishing the job. And certainly over the past 3 games, the Ravens have been doing a much better job of finishing the job. They've been doing a much better job of closing. And with the addition of a Roquan Smith, and then something else that Brandon Marshall mentioned, again, he said the Ravens are going to be getting healthier. I was like, oh, okay. Gus Edwards, he's on the way back. J.K. Dobbins, he's on the way back. David Ojabo, he's on the way. Tyus Bowser, he came back, so he'll be playing more and more over time. So Marcus Williams, he's on the way back. So Mark Andrews, he's on the way back. And then, of course, JPP and Deshaun, the old heads, they got a little tweaked up during that Saints game. But they'll be back, too. This bye week is going to be, it came at a perfect time for both of them. But anyway, Ravens are getting healthier. Ravens have such a favorable schedule. And the Ravens, even in the losses to the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Bills, the Ravens have shown they can rock with anybody. And what's actually kind of scary about this Ravens team is that when they lost to the Bills, they lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Giants, they did a lot of out of character type of stuff. We look at that Dolphins game. They were up, 21? Of course, we know context is everything. I mean, 21-point lead is a 21-point lead, straight up. But Marlon Humphrey, he left the game. Marcus Peters, he was out of the game for a while. It was just the Ravens offense, they just stopped scoring. I think they scored 3 points in the second half of that game. And it just got ugly. And then there was some bad coaching in that game. It's just a mix of everything that could go wrong, went wrong, especially in the second half of that game. In the Bills game, it was missed opportunities. There was late throws. It was them not taking the points. And again, the scoring just stopped, came to a halt. Then in the Giants game, the scoring was, it was lackadaisical in that game. The offense was, they were up and down. Some of the game plan with the lack of continuing to do what worked, that ended up biting them in the butt. The defense on first and second down, they were holding it down. Then on clutch, crucial third downs, they could just not get off the field. And then the poor turnovers at the end of the game, that ugly interception from Lamar, and that allowed the Giants to come right back. But the Ravens lost. No matter what the reason, no matter what the excuse, no matter what, the Ravens lost those games. But they just needed to, and it's been the Ravens thing for a while. But just speaking of this season alone, they just needed to clean up, fine-tune a couple of things here and there, and they would be A-OK. And it seems like they're starting to fine-tune those things. It seems like it. Now, when you think about those 3 losses, in each and every one of those 3 losses, if they would have just kicked one more field goal, completely different game. Ravens win. Just one more field goal. One more. And the Ravens win. Because all of those games were super close. All of those games literally came down to the very, very end. Every single loss. It ain't like the Ravens got blown out. It ain't like the Ravens were down by double digits or lost by double digits. No. Every single one of those came down to the very end. So that lets you know, even though the Ravens lost, they can hang with anybody. And they had plenty of opportunities to win those games. But they obviously didn't, but they had the opportunity too. And that's back when they struggled with closing. Now it seems like the Ravens have sort of found, all right, this is how we close it out. This is what we need to do. This is how we finish. So I can see what Brandon Marshall is saying. And he has said some far-fetched stuff throughout his podcasting career and whatnot, and his time as a retired NFL player. But this, honestly, it's not too far-fetched. It's really not. When you really think about it, because it took me to really think about it. Because like I said before, I was not Ravens, they going all the way to the Super Bowl now. Even after they got Roquan Smith, they going all the way to the Super Bowl now. I wasn't on that. But when you think about the context of this entire season and the wins and the losses, what the Ravens have been able to do in every single game is something that does hold weight and it does hold value. Because if you can get a double-digit lead on any opponent in this league, that's hard enough. But if you've gotten it on every single opponent that you faced, and now your defense, the defense that early on this season, it was looking shaky, but now it's looking good. They're tackling better. They have, get this, come here. I gotta get y'all closer for this one, because it's so weird to see and say the Ravens have a pass rush. I said it. It's real. Ravens have a pass rush. What's that like? Hey, well, we know what it's like now. I think Ravens are I know they're one of the top 5 teams in sacks. I think they may be number 3 or something like that. It's some crazy high number. Ravens have one of the top 3 sack leaders in the league on their team in Justin Houston. What? This is real life, y'all. It's real. So what Brandon Marshall said, I cannot discredit it because it has some value.
Yeah, this feels like a dream.